right, so what are we seeing?
All right, so let's take a look at this. So a couple of things with bunker shots that I really want to take a look at is weight distribution at address. So
Yep.
this will measure both the pressure as you're dynamically moving, but when you're static, it's going to be your weight distribution. So you can see you're about 60-40 onto your front foot, which
Yep.
I really am a big fan of. One thing that I have a little hesitancy with, and you can see here, as you take this club back, you can see the weight kind of moves around a little bit. And it's not really a consistent shift. It's kind of bouncing around. You can see how that white ball is moving back and
Sure.
forth. You're getting into a good spot, but then right before you start down, all of a sudden you kind of
Stay back.
a little bit, jump into that right foot. One of the biggest things that we see with that when people start to move around a little bit in the bunker, or a little too much, is inconsistent contact. Your low point really follows your pressure trace. So if your pressure moves onto your back foot, a lot of times your low point moves back. And in the bunker especially, if we get that low point too far back, it creates a sensation of trying to help the ball up. And that's one thing that we see a lot of players do. As soon as that pressure moves back, they start almost trying to scoop it or help it up a little bit too much.
This is probably why, like, my miss would be maybe an inch or two further behind the ball than I'd like,
100%.
versus being able to, like, spin it and get as close
absolutely.
as you can on the golf ball.
Yep,
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
And this shot in particular, you really did save it well. So you can see by impact there, you're right about 80% into the left foot, which I'm a big fan of. Really good number for this type of shot. But what happens if we go from 60-40, we go to 40-60, we have a lot more movement we have to make back. And as you know, in a bunker, depending on sand conditions, that can make or break a shot.
So would you say, like, in the backswing, you want me at, let's just call it 60%, 70% on my left side and staying there, so there's only a 10% movement to my left?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
I'd love to see you, as you're taking it back, almost feel like you're pivoting around your left hip a little bit more to allow you to stay on your left side a touch more. Now, different lies in the bunker you have to be careful with.
For sure,
that.
uphill
downhill, uphill, stuff like that. But for a pretty stock shot, I'd like to see you try to just feel like you're, whether it's a door hinge, you're pivoting around your left heel or your left hip, but something to just get you to stay a little bit more left.
Let's try that really quick.
Perfect.
Hold that, yep.
All right, let's take a look here. So as you take it back here, blow it up so you can see a little more.
This is like feeling real. So what's crazy is I would have felt like I would have had 70% on my left side there, right?
I will say you started a little bit more left, but at the top of the swing, you got to 60-40 on your left, where before you were almost flip-flopped.
Okay, so that's better, right?
So huge improvement, yep. And that's going to create a little bit of a steeper angle of attack, which is certainly going to help you control low point a little bit better there. But the other nice thing that I'm liking is because you were getting so far into the right, you were moving very far into the left. So if somebody really makes a drastic move into their left side, at times they start to catch it thin or really make ball first contact. Fairway bunker, we're fine. Here, not so much. But notice how you're much more consistent there. So even coming through, you're still in that same kind of region as far as your weight distribution. You are getting left through the shot, which is great, but I don't want you to be jumping into the left side necessarily. So I think it's a much more stable position to be in.
Let me go ahead and do this for the camera quick. So for those of you who are watching and have no clue what this is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Let me see if I can move this way. So we can actually see here the different percent, and you can see all that pressure in the left foot versus the right foot. The bottom in the gray, you can see 61-39. That's the percent of pressure in my left and then right foot at that particular part of my swing. You can see where my hands are there. So really cool device. This is awesome. Something I want to eventually get as well. This is very, very good to learn. And again, feel isn't real. I would have never thought I was only 61 right here. I would have thought I was probably like 80. So, all right, cool. This is awesome. Thanks.